Hello and welcome to Wednesday webinar. Tonight I want to talk about spouses owning a property together. This is not necessarily saying that owning direct property in your own name is the way to go. I'm just explaining how this would work if that is what you choose to do. There are two ways you can own a property together: as tenants in common or as joint tenants. Tenants in common mean that you both individually own a certain percentage of that property. So it could be 50-50, it could be 70-30, it could be 99-1. That is determined by you when you enter into the contract. Now, if one of you were to die, then your share of that property would pass to your estate, or according to your will, to your beneficiaries of your will. It would not pass to the other owner of the property. And your estate would then own whatever percentage you owned of the property. On the other hand, joint tenancy means you own equal shares in the property, and in the event of the death of one owner, the other automatically becomes the sole owner of the property with no regard to the deceased will or estate, which can be a good thing because that can't be challenged like a will can. Other than the simplicity joint tenancy gives you when transferring between spouses on death, generally owning a property 50-50, as is you're forced into that with a joint tenancy, it's automatically considered 50-50 for tax purposes. Now 50-50 is a bit of a cop-out as a tax planning strategy, unless both spouses are going to be in the same tax bracket throughout the whole ownership period. Then, if this is the case, equal ownership may well be a good idea so that when you sell, you can split the capital gain over two taxpayers. If the property is going to be negatively geared for a long time, then hold it in the property in the high income earner's name. If it is going to become positively geared pretty quickly, then hold it in the low income earner's name. Now, later changing which spouse owns the property is not a practical option because of the stamp duty costs, and there will be capital gains tax based on the market value at the time of transfer. If you decide that the property should be owned in one spouse's name, then consider maybe owning it 99% in their name and 1% in the other spouse's name, so that either spouse can deal with the property and the issues that arise from it without the other spouse having to take time off work and that sort of stuff. Because generally, if you're going for the high income earner's name, they may have more trouble getting time off work to go and see counsel or things like that. And another benefit is then at least you can both claim your travelling costs to see the property. The good thing about owning property in your personal name is that if you live there, you can cover it with your main residence exemption. Even if the property is in one spouse's name, it can be covered by both main residence exemptions. You see, members of a couple only get half a main residence exemption each, so they need to combine to cover a property completely with a main residence exemption. Now, if you go to our website, www.bantax, that's bantacs.com.au, to the library section, have a look under webinars for the heading Buying a Property. There you will find a webinar on trust versus owning a property in your own name, and a webinar on self-managed super funds. Please watch these so you will get full coverage of all the entities that you should consider when buying an investment property. But ultimately, you need to discuss this with your accountant, because the accountant will know your personal circumstances. Everything that I say in these webinars is just general in nature. You need to apply it to your circumstances. So please see your accountant before you sign the contract. Thank you for staying till the end, and I hope to see you next Wednesday.